What's up, Mikwano? Mikwano means friends in the local language here. Mikwano. Africa James coming to you here from the bush. The jungle bush, not the other kind of bush that I often visit. This bush is a jungle, that bush is also a jungle, but sometimes it's a manicured jungle and sometimes it's deforestation. You get all types here. Guys, I'm out here with my dogs today and I'm so happy. I'm so happy. No people around. We might see a few goats and cows grazing. Other than that, it's pure bush out here, guys. I'm so happy to be out here. I haven't been out here in a month. I usually make these life updates for my patrons because I talk a lot about my personal life in the jungle and YouTube inappropriate content. But the reason I'm able to make this life update public is because I haven't been in the bush for some time now. Well, there might be a Patreon version of this. If you guys are interested in that, I have a Patreon, tons of content, tons of private content, videos, private life updates. I have over 1,500 videos on Patreon, all kinds of interesting stuff. So if you're interested in that, check it out. It's been a brutal month for me, guys. Brutal month. Today is January 16th. Yeah, like I said, I usually come out here to the bush every week to come see my dogs. I found them a caretaker because I knew I would be leaving Uganda and the clock is ticking down. And as the clock ticks down, I'm feeling more and more nostalgic about this place. And I'm realizing that I am going to want to come back here. Of course I'm going to come back here. I'm going to see my babies again, my dogs. I got to say, when there's no bullshit going on, you don't have any problems, it actually is quite nice being out here. They're really good hunters. If one sees a squirrel, it alerts the other dogs and they all go, they corner it and game over. So like I was saying, a very rough month for me. Or right around Christmas, a little bit before Christmas. It had been a while. It had been maybe 2 years, I think. And one night I came down with this, I just felt like all my energy was zapped from me. The next morning I was freezing cold. It's pretty temperate, warm here in Uganda. But I was freezing and I put on like 2 shirts, all the blankets I could find. I'm there shivering under my blankets and I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's just cold today. Then a couple hours later, whoosh, just sweat just rolling down my fucking face, down my chest, my arms. And I'm like, oh, and then the headache and the nausea, and I'm like, yep, that's what's up, malaria. One cool thing about having lived here so long is I've kind of figured out how to get medical treatment for the best price and how to not get God, every time you go, they like the mud. They like to get in the mud because it cools them off. Oh, look at that. She's just covered in it. She's just covered in, oh, now she's gonna roll in it. Like a little pig. Like a little pig. Look at her. She's just coated in mud. All right. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Let me walk around this. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter how long you've been in Uganda. It doesn't matter if you're a Muzungu or a Ugandan. They will try to cheat you. They'll try to give you medical tests that you don't need, treatment you don't need, medicine you don't need. Just to drive up the cost of the bill. And they do. They take advantage of, there's a lot of Africans here that have no idea about medicine or medical terms. They don't know anything about biology. And these doctors will bold-faced lie and tell them they need this test and that test and this treatment and that treatment. And these poor Ugandans, literally poor Ugandans, have to like start calling their family, asking to have money sent to them. Yes, compared to the West, medical treatment is very inexpensive here, but it's also very predatory. If you don't know what's going on and you don't understand medicine and biology, they will take advantage of you. And it doesn't matter if you're a Muzungu or an African. It's just a predatorial place. That's what they do here. The doctors do it. The nurses do it. The hospital staff do it. It's just first nature to them. So I actually know these nurses. They're sisters. I know them. It's a small little clinic. They sleep in there at night. It's like 2 rooms. And I go there from time to time to pick up drugs, and I sit and I chat with them. And the one that treated me, oh, she's so cute and curvy. Very curvy. And she's very short. Like, she comes right up to my mid-chest. Oh, I would have a field day with her. But again, you know, I don't want to get sick, and then I've banged her and she feels bad because I didn't marry her, and then there's this awkward feeling. Like, I'm trying to avoid that. I try to avoid that with all the women in the area I live. So what am I talking about? Well, after that treatment, that first day, little cutie brings out a piece of paper with a number on it. Big number, right? For my treatment for that day. And I smiled at her and I said, you just wrote a number on a piece of paper. There's like no explanation of how you came up with this number. Let's break it down. And so we broke it down, all the treatment and how much the medicine cost. And we came to a number that was half of what she wrote down. So I don't think most Africans have that wisdom to do that, nor definitely not tourists, like Muzungu tourists here wouldn't know. They wouldn't know how to deal with that situation. But yeah, I mean, just from living here for so many years, I've gained that knowledge, and I've found that everything here in Africa is negotiable. If somebody tells you a price, you can negotiate it. And what I usually do is I really lowball them. Like, I lowball them. And I do that because I know at least if we meet in the middle, it's still going to be cheap. It's still going to be to my advantage. And I'll be paying the local price. By the way, this is my dog's Storage, the one that likes rolling in the mud. And when she walks right behind me. She walks right behind me and rubs up on me. So I just know that when I come out here, I'm just going to get filthy dirty. Okay, look at this. These are safari ants. Another thing, if you were just a fresh Muzungu coming here, you would have stepped right in that. And what they'll do is they'll crawl up your body. Hundreds of them will crawl up your body. They will crawl up your body by the hundreds. You'll be covered in these fire ants, and they'll be stinging you at the same time. It's happened to me before. I had to strip down off all my clothes. That was in public. It was at night, thank goodness, in a rural area. So yeah, it's been a tough month, guys. So it started with malaria, and basically every day I was in my room the whole day, 24/7. I couldn't sit up and work. I couldn't do anything. I was just like, didn't have any energy. You know, when you have malaria, it's just like it just zaps all the energy out of you. When it first hits, you sweat so much. You just feel like you're gonna pass out and die. And you probably do if you don't get medical treatment. So that malaria went on for a week. You're just alone. I was just alone there, sitting in my room. Christmas went by. I was all alone on Christmas. To make matters worse, I actually had a girlfriend starting from September. She wasn't in Africa. It was a long distance relationship, and we broke up in November. And so I was really feeling the pangs, you know, that feeling you get in your heart when you break up, and you're just like, oh, you're so sad, you're missing that person, you're thinking about them all the time. And I was going through that. I was still going through that during Christmas, because I was actually going to go and see her, or she was going to come and see me. And it was like, I was so happy about that, and then that huge disappointment that it didn't work out. But just, you know, I noticed that God does this, but I believe he does it for good reasons. But when he lays it on, he does lay it on thick. So on top of malaria, on top of being alone for Christmas, this girl then contacts me a couple days after Christmas. And you know, of course, when she contacted me, I hadn't talked to her in like 6 weeks. When she contacted me, you know, naturally I'm just in my head, I'm like, oh, there's a little bit of hope, you know, maybe we can get back together, maybe we can work things out. But just to fucking drive the knife in deeper. You know, for whatever reason, maybe you women who are watching this, not you guys, because you don't know shit about women, but maybe you women can tell me why she would contact me after 6 weeks and then just disappear. So yeah, just to drive the knife in deeper. Malaria, alone on Christmas, then she contacts me, disappears, and then God just, you know, just kept on stacking it on. He kept on stacking it on. After that, I got something. I think it was COVID. I think I got COVID. I had a dry cough, a fever, and I felt just, I don't know, I've never had this before, just this fatigue. I'm talking like I would sleep 10 hours, wake up, and just be so tired I couldn't even get out of bed. Or if I did, and like walked across the room, I would just be like huffing and puffing, like I had just run 3 miles. And I was just like, oh my God, what is this? And that went on for another 2 weeks. And actually that just cleared up 2 days ago. So for the past 3 weeks, I've been alone in my room. And I was alone during Christmas. I was alone during New Year's. I was alone during my birthday, which was in early January. Had the ex-girlfriend contact me again and then disappear. I mean, it was just lonely, guy. And I'm in a foreign country, you know. And this is the first time I've gone through a major illness by myself. The previous times, well, the first time I got malaria, I had my my house girl at the time take care of me. The next time I got malaria, I was living with my Ugandan girlfriend at the time. This was the first time I had to take care of myself, and I was all alone. I did notify a few friends because, like I said, when you get malaria, you do feel like you're gonna pass out. And I wanted to notify some people just in case I didn't show up. They could come to my room and find me passed out from malaria in my room. My friend Grace, who lives in my area, she works as a security guard, carries around an AK-47, walks around in a little soldier suit. First time I met her, I thought she was a little man. She's actually a very beautiful woman. She did manage to come one night and bring me dinner, so that was very sweet and touching. And I have a couple of friends. I haven't put them on camera. I have 2 or 3 friends like her where I've employed a don't mess around policy. And this is what happens, guys. When I don't have sex with a woman, she falls in love with me. So all these women friends that I've made have fallen in love with me, confessed their love to me, and have wanted to sleep with me. But like I said, there are women that live close to me in my village, and I'll run into them almost every time I go out, and I don't want them to get hurt when they see me with other girls. So I generally do not mess with women in my immediate area, but if I go 2 or 3 villages down, that's fair game. But you know, I've been talking about God a little bit in this video. I'm not religious, but you know, after all of this, I still feel blessed. You know, I did have one person come and help me one night. I did have 2 other friends that I had called or messaged and told them that I was sick, and I knew they would have come if the worst had come to worse. I knew they would have come and helped me. And now I have my health back, so I survived it, guys. I survived malaria, and then after that, COVID, and yeah, I'm grateful. Probably one of my worst holiday seasons. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments section about one of your worst holiday seasons. Let me know if you can at least relate to me, so I know I wasn't alone.